Welcome back to part 7 of strengthening the spine and core for fused and sensitive spines. So for this one, we are going to do everyone's favorite pose, the side plank. This is a really great pose, but it's also really challenging. So I'm going to show you a few ways to kind of build to a side plank so that you feel strong and capable once you get there. And for the first version, you may want a blanket for your knees, and you may also want a block for under your hand. So I'll show you where we're going in a second. For this, just like so many of the others, we're going to start in a tabletop. I am going to bring a block underneath my left hand because especially with a fused spine or a long fusion, it can just feel a little bit more supportive to have the ground a little bit higher up for under the hand. So block under my left hand. I'm going to extend my right leg, swing my left foot to the left, and come to the sole of my right foot. And then I'm going to reach my right hand up. This is called a half gate pose, but it's a really nice build to a side plank. It's got a lot of elements of side plank. See, there's side plank. Here's half gate. Very similar. But I have my knee down, so I'm carrying some of the weight here. I'm not just on my hand and feet with everything in the middle lifting. There's a point of balance in the middle. So this can be where you work for a good long time. And it can also feel so nice to reach your arm over your ear, push the floor down or push the hand into the block, and really stretch into the side body. So this can also just be a nice stretch. But even as I feel this good stretch on my right side, I'm also feeling some strength in my left side ribs, side waist, and around my left shoulder. You could also do my favorite thing and just circle your arms around, your top arm around, and stretch into your shoulder. Oh, it feels so good. All the while letting this bottom half of me build strength. So many ways to do your half gate. I'll show you on the other side too. Take that block under my right hand. Right foot swings to the side. I'm tucking my toes. I find that easier to balance than with my toes untucked. And then my left foot is either flat or maybe on its toes, but flat is my preferred. And I could stay here. I could reach my arm over my ear. Or I could swoop my arm around in circles and just mobilize that left shoulder. So again, the whole time, even if my top arm is moving, especially if my top arm is moving, it can be easy to kind of focus on that arm. But I want to keep at least a good amount of focus on this bottom hand pushing down, bicep kind of rotating a little forward so my collarbones are wide, and then feeling that strength in my right armpit, shoulder, side, waist, and ribs. So there's half gate on that side. And you don't need to use the block, or you could go higher on the block. So the block is just there for if you want more support, because it can feel a little crowded, especially in the bottom hip and outer hip region. But if you don't need the block, you don't have to use the block. One other thing to note is that usually my bottom hand is a little forward of my shoulder. We talked about that a little bit in the second video or third video. Partially because it just feels better on my wrist to be a little bit more forward, and also partially because it feels more stable for my shoulder to be in that position. So hand can be a little forward of the wrist. So that's half gate, one of my favorite places to start in a yoga practice in general, and also when building strength for a side plank. The second option is going to also be a supported side plank or variation of side plank. I don't need a blanket for this. And for this, I'm going to start in a lunge. So my left hand is going to be down, but it's going to be a little forward of my foot. So usually with a lunge, we'd be like maybe more here. I'm going to have my hand forward. Right hand is at my hip. I like to be on my tented fingertips at first, just for the transition. But then as I start that transition, hand is going to flatten. I'm going to roll to my outer left foot, scooch my right foot back so that all of my toes and both knees are pointing to the side. So I'm not twisting on the knees. Hand is, again, just a little in front of the shoulder, and then top arm is going to reach up. So now I still have 3 points of contact, hand, foot, and other foot, rather than 2 that I would have for side plank. So I can push down into my right foot, lift my hips. I might reach my arm over my ear. That's nice too. So I'm feeling a lot of strength in my left shoulder, left side waist, and ribs. And then I'll come out of it like that. I might take a little down dog after that. Delightful. And then I'll show you the same thing on the second side. So left foot is going to step forward, but not as far as my right hand. Right hand is going to be a little forward of that foot, and then I'm going to flatten my palm as I come to the outside of my right foot, scooch the left foot back, and reach the left arm up. And so again, I could stay here with the arm reaching up, pushing the floor away with my right hand, or I could reach my arm over my ear, bringing a little more side stretch. And sometimes that's nice too. It can encourage, reaching the arm over the head or the ear can encourage a little bit more lift of that side body. So coming out of it and into it just as important as being in the pose itself. So just make sure you're being mindful of how you come in and out. Again, when I come in, it's usually like a step forward and then a little spinny spin. And I'm not staying for super long each time. I'm giving my body a chance to gradually warm into it. And then over time, I might, or after a few repetitions, I might try to hold the shape for a little bit longer, but I'm not just jumping right in and trying to hold it for a million hours. I'm being kind to myself. Okay, so that's the horizon lunge. Some people call this horizon lunge, but whatever. This is also horizon lunge. And then our last stop will be side plank itself. So if you're feeling pumped, if you're feeling ready, you can give it a try. And if you would rather just repeat either or one of the things we've already did, totally great. If you want to come into side plank, we'll start in plank. And then we will take that left hand. We're going to come on the left side first. Left hand a little forward. Start to roll to the outside of the left foot. Stack the feet. And then lift the right arm either straight up, woo, or over the ear. Oh, thank goodness for my legs. Left hand is pushing actively against the ground. Left side body super strong. Top hand reaching up. Okay, and then we're going to come back. We're going to give ourselves a little break. I mean, down dog, if down dog feels like a break for you, great. For some of us, it does not. So give yourself as much of a break, a little shake for the arms as you want. And then same thing, second side. So again, starting in plank pose. Usually I will step my base hand a little more forward, then turn, stack the feet, lift the top hand, or reach the top arm over the ear. I'm still lifting through my side body. Folks with longer fusions, you'll probably have a pretty straight spine here, but if you have not a very long fusion, you might even be in a little bit of an arc. So you don't have to think of plank as, or side plank as a diagonal straight line. It might be a little bit more like rainbow-like, or at least it might feel that way. I don't want you to try to make it a diagonal line. Try to lift that bottom side of your body to make a little bit of an arc. I'm lifting here, and I've got a long fusion, so it might not look like an arc, but I feel like a rainbow. So there you have it, side plank. You could also come into side plank from this supported version. So maybe you're here And then you're like, oh, I want to try a side plank. I'm feeling fancy. And you just step a foot back. And then you can come out the same way you came in. So several ways to enter and exit the pose. Just again, making sure that you're coming in mindfully and that you're coming out mindfully. Because every pose has 3 stages: the entering, the staying there, and the exiting. All right, that is enough plank for me, I'll tell you what. All right, hope you enjoyed our side planking, and I will see you next time.